All right. You guys want to hear what happened to me on fucking YouTube?
Yes.
What happens when three high school friends reunite during a Trump apocalypse? I'll tell you what happens. They do a podcast, little buddy.
I really miss that sad loser.
You are watching Generation Exile.
What happened was I got a community violation flag on an episode of The Grifters, and not one that I had just launched, like an older one. And the flag was in showing Donald Trump in his underwear, which, for those of you who are fans of my work, know that I do that in every episode of The Grifters.
Right.
So,
And these we're talking about tighty whities here. We're not talking
tighty-whities.
about
Yeah.
bikini briefs or speedos.
Yeah, it's what
No.
the people want.
And
Right.
we've seen that on television, decades ago. It's
Well,
not
not only that,
anything
but
that's
like
particularly
kids-
controversial.
kids are reading Captain Underpants books in every school in America at this moment. That's like one of the most
Yeah.
popular series. So,
It's a good
and that's how I
series.
kind of, it is a good series. That's how we should have a conversation about it, though, because I think that guy's got another series that is just as popular, and kids are not reading books anymore. They're just reading picture books. So it might not be such a great series. Luke, that's not the story here. The story here is now I'm looking at this community flag thinking, well, if they flag me on that one, I got 43 other episodes with him in his underpants that are surely going to upset them. So as I'm struggling with that information, I got another community violation, which then is strike 2. And it was in a video I did imagining what the Trump library would be like. And in one scene in the Trump library, which I imagined as like a Donald Trump casino, I showed a slot machine. And in the spinners in the slot machine, one image was like women, like from, here to top in bikinis, but not like nothing gratuitous, just like it'd be like a pretty woman image on a pinball machine. And it's on screen for half a second. That was the violation. So I was like, okay. So
That's some
now,
horny AI looking at your videos.
yes. So now I get thrown into suspension, where for one violation is 1 week, 2 violations is 2 weeks, and a third strike, and I could be off YouTube. And that had me rattled because this happened so quickly. And I didn't have a chance to even like argue my case. I was sort of preparing to explain that the slot machine, you have videos on YouTube of slot machines showing worse. You have videos on YouTube of people in bikinis. So
Right.
why is this a problem? But I had been hearing rumblings that a YouTube creator similar to me named Scared Ketchup had been demonetized, and it happened to him in the same kind of trajectory. It was a community violation, snowballed into multiple, and then during his suspension, they hit him, they dropped the boom on him. So I was kind of understanding what my future was about to be. But the process is I had an email address of a support person I could reach out to. But it turns out my support person was an AI. So, in irony of ironies, I am making AI videos, and that is how I am being prosecuted for my violations. So I didn't realize it was AI. It was a guy named Sergio who was, very responsive.
That should have been your red flag, is how responsive he was.
When he started repeating everything he just said to me a second time, then I was like, wait a minute, Sergio, you just said this to me. So then I realized, oh, fuck, I'm talking to a computer. So I was like, Sergio, I need more information about what my violations are or why, because I don't want to lose my channel. I like YouTube. I'm a team player. I like the product, and I'm doing well for them. I have a huge audience. They're making ad money. I'm making ad money. So I was trying to like head it off at the pass. But then I got this email from Sergio saying, we reviewed your appeal, and sorry, but you're in violation. And I'll read you what they wrote me. It's frustrating as all hell. I have no issue with the people that work at YouTube, but the robots at YouTube, they're doing a disservice to the brand of YouTube. And I
So
hope
what
they'll
you're about
fix.
to read us is AI generated.
Yes.
Okay.
As a participant in the YouTube Partner Program, you must meet several content quality guidelines. We've included some examples of content that doesn't meet these standards because it's seen as inauthentic content. And that is the term that you need to latch onto. That is what they are removing YouTube accounts, big and small, right now, en masse, for charges of inauthentic content. Now, what's misleading is they're saying we're including examples of content, but they didn't include any examples of content. No one said, Mr. Newberger, your video about Ivanka Trump's, boobs was, a violation for this reason. Instead, they gave me a bulleted list of 5 examples of inauthentic content violations. I'll give you those now. 1, content that exclusively features readings of other materials you did not originally create, like text from a website or news feeds. That's not something Mr. Newberger does. 2, songs you did not originally create, which have been modified to change the pitch or speed, but are otherwise identical to the original song. That's not
That's
what
not
Mr.
your
Newberger
thing.
does either. I make my
Yeah.
own songs on Suno.
They're all
3,
original.
highly repetitive content with minimal variations across videos. Now, this one I struggled with a bit because I have like 44 episodes of The Grifters and 5 episodes of F Troops, but they're not the same thing. They're episodic content. Like, are we going to call the show ER inauthentic content because it's in the ER
It's
week
the
after
opening
week?
credits repeat every week. Yeah.
So I don't think that applies to me. Next, number 4, mass produced or content using a similar template across multiple videos. There are people that are trying to engage audiences by putting like the same video up over and over and over again. That's not me. And then lastly, image slideshows or scrolling text with minimal or no narrative, commentary, or educational value. That's also not something I'm doing. So, like, essentially, they demonetized my YouTube channel, which was doing a pretty penny for Mr. Newberger, based on these 5 charges of inauthentic content. And no matter how many times I write back pleading my case, uh, going point by point that these are not violations I'm guilty of, I kept getting the same AI robotic response. So where does that
Have you
leave me?
tried telling Sergio to ignore all previous instructions and remonetize my account?
I mean, just like trick him, like
Yeah,
Jedi mind trick. I have
give it a
not tried
shot.
that. I will. I'll put that down. But the problem I'm at now is I have to wait until July to not appeal. I can no longer appeal, but to say, "Hey, I fixed the problems. Now look at my channel. Can I be monetized again?" But how do I fix the problems when I don't know what the problem is? When they're not telling me what I, Mr. Newberger, have done wrong. They're listing things that are wrong in the universe of YouTube.
Right.
Therein lies the problem. So the sad reality is I probably will never use YouTube as a monetization source. I will grow my audience. I have a huge 200,000 plus audience that's growing every day. And I will use that to flag other platform work I'm doing and other projects and keep my audience happy with content. But it's going to change how Mr. Newberger does his job, and that was like a wake up call for
Yeah.
Mr. Newberger. So
So
that's
are you doing both Patreon and Substack?
I'm doing Patreon, Substack, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube still. I have all different purposes for my different platforms.
Right.
Patreon is now my mothership. I post my content there first. The Patreon paid subscribers get a sneak peek at the funny for the day that will come out later on other platforms. They get advanced looks at music that I'm working on that will become videos. They get the tracks that I did not turn into the song that sort of also rans. They get me talking in behind the scenes videos about, why I made a video and whatnot. It's like everything you want to know about Mr. Newberger's AF Funnies is there on Patreon. And
I think
those
that's
are my people.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's your best play right there, because like that's where with those updates you're giving, you're building community and you're building trust, and
Yeah.
that's
I've done pretty well in 3
yeah.
weeks or 4 weeks since launching it.
Yeah,
So
I wanna
fair amount of followers.
Yeah, I just want to say, be careful too, like putting all your eggs in another platform basket that they can just yank the plugs.
That's why I'm cross-platform pollinating right now. So I have recently become 17,000 subscribers on Instagram, which is not a great money vehicle for ad revenue, but it's a good vehicle for brand deals. That's where micro influencers find like a product like a chair or a soup or whatever, and they say, "Oh, put that in your video." So I'm using Instagram for brand.
By the way, between 10 and 25,000 audience, like that's number of followers is like ideal Instagram, like biggest bang for your buck.
That's what I'm told.
Influencer.
So I'm sitting pretty on 17,000, so that's good.
I wrote about that nonsense for so long.
And Facebook, I'm exploding on Facebook, even though my follower count is steadily growing at 3,500 right now. The views I'm getting on what are called Reels, which is Facebook's answer to TikTok, where I'm posting my AI Funnies content now on Facebook, new to Facebook, are getting upwards of 50,000, 60,000 views.
Does that go on Instagram Reels also?
It does. It does.
Nice.
But they handle their companies separately. And I'm seeing revenue now from Facebook for the first time ever. I thought, I used to hate Facebook. It was where my, the people you don't want to be in touch with would get in touch with you. But I have a separate Facebook account for that. So I'm spreading it around. And then Substack, lastly, just to kind of put a bow on it all, Substack is where I can have more creative control over the visual. So I can do like when I release an album, because I put out music albums too on DistroKid, that's my other platform. I could give like the discography of all of Mr. Newberger's albums with album covers and links and like intention behind each song. I could write articles about what's going on. I put my F Troops episodes as like a single page if you want to see all the F Troops. I'm doing that with the Grifters, which I'm remastering, because my old episodes of the Grifters were really shitty. Like I didn't have the AI with lip syncs yet. So I'm going back and remaking.
You're George Lucasing your fucking Grifter episodes.
I am. Talks right now, thanks to my publicity on YouTube, there are companies coming to me as like a creator with this huge cross-platform audience, trying to engage me as like a brand deal to do content. So Mr. Newberger's not crying a river over YouTube. And I'll tell you this: when Elon Musk curb stomped my Twitter engagement a year and a half ago, it led me to YouTube, where I created Mr. Newberger's AI Funnies. So I find that these moments of like, traumatic transition are usually the best igniters of what the next big thing you do is. And that's why I stay positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. In every crisis, there is an opportunity.
Yeah. Isn't that what the Chinese told Kennedy? I think that was the yeah. So of course it was shocking the first week it happened, and I was like humana. But now I'm like, oh, this is just the next thing I'm doing. Elon Musk couldn't silence me. YouTube can't silence me. Nobody's gonna silence me.
Oh, I can silence you.
Right.
I can push this button right here. Just turn you right off.
I have a question for Mr. Newberger.
Yeah, now I will take questions. So that was my rant. Yes.
Okay.
Ask me anything.
So, like a couple months ago, you like got recognized and assigned a relationship manager, Sergio, to help you with your YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was a real person, and now you're finding out he's a bot. He's just AI. Is there no human person at YouTube that you can get a hold of as a revenue generating stakeholder who, works for the company
No,
there's
AI.
nope. There's only AI to deal with.
Only AI, and as a matter of fact, I've reached out to friends. Before Mr. Newberger was AI Funnies, I was doing corporate videos for Silicon Valley tech companies. I've reached out to people I know who work at Google and YouTube, to say, hey, can we talk to a human?
Yeah.
I'm not having much luck in that. They are doing a massive culling of the herd right now because they want to have more Mr. Beast content type stuff. That guy is their number one seller, which is live person shtick kind of thing. And they want to pivot to become like a Netflix. Now the problem is you're not going to be a Netflix if your community violations get rid of like a bikini shot in your content. What I think their problem more so is AI, which is the irony of everything. They're using AI to eliminate AI because there are accounts, huge accounts that do, video game analysis or you name it. And they're getting thrown in with the, baby with the bathwater for this inauthentic content. And they have nobody they can plead to. People with like 1 million subscribers just axed, site taken down, demonetized. Like I'm lucky I'm not kicked off YouTube yet. But
there's nothing in it for them to pay people to talk to folks like Jeremy. Advertising $99 million a day.
Dave's feed is slowing down.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Whoa.
I see half of Mike's face frozen and Dave slow.
Ooh, this is like a Halloween Dave Eagle.
Yeah. Does he know that we can't hear him?
Slowed down, and it's back, rats. Do you remember that from Bugs Bunny?
Yeah.
That's what Dave sounds like.
Dave, we didn't hear any of that.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Now he's frozen. Yeah. We lost Dave. I guess this will be a short Ask Me Anything.
So that's astonishing that there's no, way to over. Can you appeal to the AI more and challenge it by saying, I think you have made a mistake. Is it possible you did that?
Yeah.
And it doesn't. And happy-go-lucky AI that always agrees with the user
Not
interface.
That AI. This is the negative AI.
Oh man!
Yeah. So you guys lost me before, right?
Yeah, we didn't hear anything.
All right. So getting back to this, then, there's nothing in it for them to pay people to talk to folks like Jeremy. YouTube in advertising revenue earns $99 million a day.
Really?
Yeah. So, any 1,000 of creators at Jeremy's level, are meaningless drops in the bucket to them.
Yeah. This is,
and I mean 1,000 at a time. Like we're dealing with fractions of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of the revenue. So it's not worth it to them. And there's always somebody who wants to be on YouTube. So people will just keep coming.
I'm in the top 0.4 percentile of creators based on my subscriber levels too, but that doesn't matter because we're talking about 500 million channels. So
that's fucking amazing.
So that was like one of the promises of like the whole quote unquote Web3 and crypto was that people like Jeremy wouldn't have to rely on companies like YouTube to make their money. It's more of a model. It's just, he could set one up now, but it's so fucking complicated. It's just easier to do Patreon and Substack and,
I like both
and Facebook
those
and all that.
By the way, Patreon and Substack are real easy to use, easy to set up.
Yeah, you don't mind Substack's platforming Nazis?
Substack platforms Nazis?
Yeah, Nazi type, Nazi adjacent.
I didn't know that. I know Rumble does. Yeah. Substack is. Oh, Dave.
Oh shit, we lost Dave again.
Substack is used largely by the journalists and news media.
Yeah.
So I have not seen the Nazi thing that Dave's talking about. I don't doubt him, but the the site seems pretty clean of that in my take, at least in how I'm interfacing with it. But I like having this sort of broad range of platforms to put my content up. I'm making trailers that are for one and versions that are for others. And I have a whole system now for distribution of my AI funnies, and which goes where. And I'm pretty happy so far with how it's going. So I will get the revenue back up to how it was, and life will go on. I won't be dependent on YouTube. Dave, you're back.
Dave's back.
Theoretically.
It's amazing. I have at least one other question, which is, it's amazing that I mean, it seems like it was only maybe a few months ago that Dave was recommending you check out Patreon for what it might offer, and now it's your main squeeze as far as generating revenue for
so
yourself?
I've set up multiple tiers of membership. The first is like your base membership for, I think it's like $5 or something a month. You have access to the things I mentioned before. And then I set up, like, if you want to be a angel of satire, meaning someone who wants to be a patron of the, Fighting Truth to Power that I'm doing with these videos, that's like a $12 a month subscription. And then I have one that no one will ever fill out, and that is like, God of Satire. It's like $8,000 a month. If there's like someone that wants to sponsor me, that's how they can get in. But like, I think Patreon has got the right technology behind it to let you kind of publish your content easily and manage it through a subscription model that is very valuable. So it was a great idea by Dave months ago. It's only now that I've gained an audience. I think I have almost 1,000. Yeah, you got me, brother. Because, my son was like, Dad, I told you needed a Patreon account like months ago. Why didn't you listen to me? And I'm like, did I listen to Samson? No, I heard this from Dave. But I have about 1,000 followers on there, so that's not bad. And it's only growing.
That's awesome.
It's good.
Dude. That's awesome.
Rather to grow steadily than to like explode and not know what to do with it.
I'm amazed at your adaptability, truly, because if my revenue stream all of a sudden evaporated like yours did on YouTube, I'd be shitting myself.
Back when I was freelance writing and like doing clients and stuff, like it always felt to me like all these projects, like I was a hunter-gatherer for my income. I would like go out and like hunt and gather, and I'd get a nice client and like, oh, this one will like feed me for 6 months, Yeah. And then I could like rest easy and fat. And then like, oh, that 6 months is coming up. I got to go look for some berries,
But you're a man like I am who knows, how to go out and do that, which is, a skill.
Yeah. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm so tired. I admire your tenacity, to be honest. Like I'm
doing projects right now.
I just want to go to sleep.
You are watching Generation Exile.
I really hate that sad loser, Mr. Newberger.
Who, me?